Thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I'm a member of the Holy Roman Catholic Church. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is here. Bradley, I thank God that you are my spiritual advisor here on Freedom March. Welcome to Freedom March, Brother Roll.
Thank you, Mr. Monker.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now receiving unconfirmed reports from officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. According to a Negro police officer, this morning, over 1,000 police officers got a shock of their lives when they went to the bank. As you are aware, today is the 28th of July, 2017. According to a Negro officer at the rank of sergeant, he says that when they got to the bank, all that money that the PLP government had promised to pay to them, and to which the Free National Movement did in fact pay them, well, those funds were now withdrawn from their accounts. That is the report that we have received. And, of course, if I can use this word, all hell break out. As officers, we are advised, immediately went to police headquarters to find out what happened to their money. So this is some of the developing story taking place. And, of course, to see this afternoon, this morning, in fact, another Negro male was murdered, according to a Negro source. We are told that this shooting took place in the Centerville constituency of F&M board chairman Reese Chipman. So these are some of the developing stories taking place. And of course, I hope to reach Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police. What is the name of the Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of urban renewal?
Is that,
I can't remember his name.
Stephen Dane, man.
Stephen Dane.
Stephen Dane.
How are you? Is this really true, Stephen Dane, that all that money that the F&M, that the PLP left for the police force and that the F&M paid to them has been, I don't know if I should use this word, confiscated, that's a bad word, has been withdrawn. I demand that the police get their monies back because schools soon open and they need to have this money to give to the women them to buy school books and school uniforms and things like that. What the heck is Peter Turnquest them doing? What are y'all doing to the police? I demand on behalf of the police that their monies be returned. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and I got some more information to reveal to you as menace and the statutory boards. There's more problems. My God, the government is incompetent. I'll tell you when we come back.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. My spiritual advisor is Bradley Roll. Bradley and I, we are both wearing brand new neckties. You would recall that yesterday, Bahama Bow executive Victoria Lightburn, who is the proprietor, gave me almost a dozen bow ties. And I feel obligated to pay her back by giving her a little advertisement. So I asked all of the man them to go to Bahama Bows. And of course, you can contact them at 427-2697. 427-2697. Or their email address is victronia@bahamabows.com. And they are located at number 9 Griffin Road, Nassau, Bahamas. Victronia, I thank you for the 11 bow ties. And as you can see, I had to share one with my spiritual advisor, Bradley Road. At the top of our show, I had a Negro lady who called me this morning from Freeport, Grand Bahama. It's the nation's second city. And she wanted to wish Mrs. Carolyn Robinson, who is celebrating her birthday. So, Miss Carolyn Robinson, I want you to know that Lucita Johnson, she wishes you a happy birthday, and so do I and the spiritual advisor. Miss Johnson says that you are one of the women them, and she is one of the women them. And then she told me of a wonderful daughter who works at the Princess Margaret Hospital. And she says that her daughter is one of the woman them. And guess what? I can't find her daughter's name. You know, I'm 60, but relax, I'll find it. And to the Commissioner of Police, Ellison Monker Greenslade, Carolyn Robinson, Lucita Johnson, who is from Cat Island. She wants me to tell you, fret not yourself because of evil doers, she said. She is praying for you and how you were her sister best student when you were a student in Cat Island. So, Lucita, you see, I've done what you have asked me to do. Opposition leader Philip Brave Davis appears as if he wants to mentor Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis. Why have I concluded that? You would recall that Dr. Minnis addressed the nation the other evening, and he warned the country that he will do a 10% cutting on government expenditure. You will also note that yesterday I called upon him to cut salaries, meaning parliamentary salaries, by 15%, since he is trying to save the Treasury money. It is to be noted, and I want my people to hear what I'm about to read. Opposition leader Philip Brave Davis, this is perhaps one of the best statements that he has issued since becoming leader of the opposition. And I'm going to look at the Nassau Guardian. And if you were to purchase today's Nassau Guardian, and I call on all the people who loves the Bahamas to go and buy the Nassau Guardian. Don't mind candid names, don't like me. You still buy it because this is a good message from Philip Brave Davis. And I have to read it. And the headline is, Austerity Could Trigger Recession. PLP cautions government after PM's national address, insisting that the first national address by Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis shows the government has no economic growth plans for the country. Opposition leader Philip Brave Davis charged yesterday that the absence of such a plan, coupled with austerity measures announced by Minnis, will likely trigger a double-dip recession. During his address, televised on Wednesday night, Minnis announced the government will cut the expenditure of its various ministries by 10%, institute hiring freeze, and not renew any contracts for emoluments that exceed $100,000 a year. Minnis also announced that the government will reduce the number of government-owned vehicles and appoint a special committee to advise on state-owned enterprises with a view to reducing the burden on public finances. In a statement to the press, Davis said the address underscored that the F&M has no vision, no plan, and no ideas for the future sustained growth and development into a united, resilient, and strong Bahamas. Dr. Minnis instead took the opportunity to continue the blames storming. So that is very important that the opposition leader appears to be providing good advice to Dr. Minnis and to be mentoring him. And I'm pleased by this, and that is why at the top of the show, I'm going to read it to you. So if I go back to the page tree, to the beginning of the page, Dr. Minnis instead took the opportunity to continue the blame storming, further dividing the country along political lines through untruths about the PLP Davis charge. His campaign promised change, transparency, accountability, and prosperity. But thus far, his administration has delivered only victor's justice. What is victor's justice? Arresting of former Environmental Minister Kenred Dossett and charging him, the arrest of former Senator Frank Smith and charging him, the arrest and making him sleep overnight at the Cable Police Station, the former Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly, Dion Smith. So that is what he means by victor's justice. Political persecution, victimization of government workers through mass dislocation, and numerous broken election promises. With more than 5,000, this is what Philip Brave Davis is warning him. And this calculation is an F&M calculation. All right? So Davis says, with more than 5,000 young Bahamians, graduates entering the labor market this year, the Minnis government has added to the unemployment rate, hardship, and suffering by many Bahamian families through the firing of large numbers of government workers for purely political reason. This is not what Bahamians voted for. Davis asks what the government's plans are for job creation, economic growth, tourism growth, and economic diversification. He also questioned the government's plans for climate change and irregular migration. Davis said the Prime Minister failed to announce any new initiatives that will inject new and fresh capital into the economy. Vague and ambiguous announcement lacking specifics and underlines on new committees. Studies, along with broad promises, underscores this troubling lack of vision, plans, ideas, and leadership focus. Our country badly needs at this time in our national development. He once again called on the Menace administration to articulate its economic growth plan. Austerity measures, in the absence of the same, will likely trigger a double-digit recession, Davis said. Further, how will Bahamians ordinarily absorbed into the public service be otherwise employed? Any economic plan must clearly and decisively address this grave reality. Davis said the government's plan to institute a hiring freeze deprives the government of the requisite skill sets, expertise, and resources necessary to drive informed public policy and facilitate the desired results of progress. The PLP government learned this the hard way between 2002 and 2007, he warned Dr. Menace. The Bahamas is in desperate need of a more focused and strategic approach to national development, devoid of political vitriol and grandstanding, directed at and designed to satiate the thirst of a specific rabid political base. Bahamians deserve and voted for strong and focused leadership, buttressed by a cogent, forward-looking strategic plan that will move all Bahamians forward together. Sadly, Prime Minister Menace has failed the Bahamian people in these fundamental areas of national leadership. This is terribly unfortunate, the opposition leader, Philip Brave Davis, had to say. My spiritual advisor, do you wish to comment? Or are you still under threats?
Well, listen, I think what is happening is the government is trying to find a way to get the country in a more better fiscal position. Of course, we understand that the present government is saying that right now as it stands, the government can't operate with the size that it has and the amount of spending that it does.
That's foolishness.
Well,
how
that is the argument.
Salty, who lives through Thompson Lane, can benefit politically? How? Huh? What kind of foolishness is? The F&M should continue to spend because this is the people's time.
Yeah, of course.
You mean to tell me all those Negroes vote for the F&M and they're not going to adopt the PLP policy of just creating jobs and giving contract?
Yeah, and that's the way it works as far as stimulating the economy.
When
the government decides
to spend money?
Yeah, well, here's my point.
Go ahead.
Whenever the government decides that they're going to cut spending, right, then it means then that there's another sector of business in the country that will have to spend. So if the government cuts...
Really?
Yeah, if the government cuts, then the private entity has to now be encouraged to do more spending.
That's foolishness, my spiritual advisor.
Well, so that the country doesn't fall into maybe a recession. So the government should find ways to trigger the private entities to do more spending while they do their cutting.
Is the government speaking to?
Well,
Menace is talking in code. Certainly, he can't be talking to them poor people in Baintown who looking for contract and work. Who's he talking to? He's talking to them people who are now threatening to downgrade us. Certainly, ministers talking nonsense. He talks about car, but today, at about 11:30, the member of parliament for Bain and Grandstand had a brand new spank caduceus car parked up outside one abandoned building. I got the picture of it,
And,
you know.
and you know, I believe the government has a point with trying to reduce the amount of vehicles that they have, because I always looked at
It's
that.
foolishness.
Well, I looked at it for years, so Mr. Monk.
It's
Honestly,
foolishness.
if you look at the kind of cars the government decides to lease, you know, you wonder if there's some kind of car show going on, actually. You know, the amount of cars that we see a lot of these apartments have, you wonder if they are in fact
But they need
necessary.
car.
Of course they need car, Mr.
The
Monk.
police
Of
need
course they need
car.
cars.
The overseer need car.
Of course they
The
need cars.
people at the ministry of
But not
works need
everybody
car.
needs a car.
Listen,
But not everybody needs a car,
well,
Mr. Monk.
everybody doesn't have a car.
Yeah.
I
believe the
Do you think that Travis need that brand new car?
What kind of car does Travis have?
Them cars so new, I don't know them kind of car.
Oh, you don't know what kind of car
But
that
it's a brand new spanking car. I got the picture.
is. Okay.
Sister woman called me, and she said, listen, minister's talking nonsense.
Okay.
Come see what Travis driving.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know what's going
So
on.
what happened to the car that BJ used to drive?
I don't know.
Well, that's the one Travis should have.
BJ car.
Yes, of course.
Okay, well, you have to tell that to Menace.
Yeah, that's
All right.
that's the way it works.
But to the young F&Ms, you have to put pressure on Menace to spend money. Whatever you thought about Christie and the PLP, they spend millions keeping people working. And I don't care where Menace get the money from. If it means that he got to continue to print it, it's the people's time.
Right. And if the government is, and they are going to cut, 10% seems to be the margin they're using to see if they could find their way through dealing with the wastage, right?
What wastage?
Well, let's give me a second, Mr.
If you
Monk.
give Jeff Lloyd
then
$100 million on education, right? What is 10% of
then
that?
You cut it by $10 million.
So if you cut it by $10 million, you don't think Jeff can still raise?
You gave him 90.
Huh?
Well, the reality is, Mr. Monk, if they're going to cut, right, then
No cut.
their focus, in my opinion, should be on small businesses. You know, do more for small businesses so that the economy here in the Bahamas could kind
What
of
small
like...
business? You think this is American?
Well, no, I mean...
No, but stop watching
that's-
CNN and
no,
giving me American propaganda.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What do you think, Mr. Monica, the government saying that they are in trouble, all right?
That ain't true.
Okay.
Travis is driving a
What's
brand new car.
what's the national debt?
Travis is driving a brand new car.
What is the national debt? We have
I
to
can
almost
give
two-
a penny what it is.
Yeah, but you
It's the people's time.
Yeah, but then you have to do something with curtailing the
But
debt.
the F&M ain't getting nothing to support us. They need jobs. They need contract. Ripper, you need contract. You say, get F&M. This is Freedom March. The people need F&M contract. I'll be right back.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Views and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. My spiritual advisor is Bradley Rule. The Free National Movement government has me extremely embarrassed as a Negro citizen of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. When Dr. Menace became Prime Minister, many people who were not lawyers rejoiced because finally, after having 3 consecutive prime ministers being lawyers, the mold was broken. And so those of us who are not officers of the court, who are not trained in the law, said, wow, we have our first non-lawyer prime minister. misconduct of the government might very well be new arguments as to why a non-lawyer, a non-trained legal professional should not be prime minister. Because clearly, Menace is violating too much laws. I'm serious with that, and I'm embarrassed. Now, yes, he's not a legal professional, but certainly, you mean to tell me Menace can't find no lawyer? You mean to tell me all the law that the chairman of the FNM, Sidney Colley, no, Menace can't utilize him? You mean to tell me all the law that Carl Bettel knows Menace can't utilize him? God have mercy on my soul.
Don't break up the table.
You mean to tell me all them lawyers in the FNM, Menace can't consult with them before he appoint statutory boards against the law? I mean, I'm just tired. I could just walk out of the studio and start my weekend of hiding. I'm hiding again this weekend. Here is the Person with Disabilities Equal Opportunities Act 2014. Do you know Menace violate this? Dr. Menace, in the name of Jesus, if you're not sure there's no lawyer in the FNM you could trust, it's equal opportunity. Menace name another commission, and this act came into effect in 2014. Menace was right there in the House of Assembly, man. Right there. And the act made it quite clear who should be chairman. Do you know Menace appoint a person contrary to the law? Man, I'm tired. I've never seen the level of mediocre in my life. I even going to use the word mediocre. This is mediocre. Mediocre is a good word. This is mediocre. The law's clear, Menace. Carl Bettel, you was trained by decent white people in England. Why would you have the Prime Minister doing up all this nonsense? Let me tell you who he appoint. And I'm prepared to apologize if he tells me that the person has a handicap. If the civil servant has a handicap, even if she's retarded, I'll apologize. The law is clear, Menace. It is mandatory. Shall mean you got to do it. Lord have mercy. Give me a drink of water. I see why people just drink rum and just freak out. I'm going to drink water and freak out. Folks, I don't want to be unkind. You may not know. You know, people say that I'm crazy. I'm going to tell you a secret about me. I used to work at the Sunderland's Rehabilitation Center. Now you know why I'm crazy. I used to work. And when I left with institutional record. And I want to be kind. I want to be kind. Because I know so much things. I want to be kind. Some of the people Menace got here, they're crazy. God forgive me. Because I got a bunch of crazy people in my family. Menace, you're not supposed to appoint crazy people. If you're not sure who's crazy, find out. Will you please send for all the people? Now, let's go here. Who did Menace appoint? Under the Person with Disability Act. For those of you who might have the Nassau Guardian and the Tribune of July 26, 2017, if you go to column 69, Menace call it the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities. The law say that the person you appoint shall serve for 3 years. Do you know they got a Negro man so upset his 3 years ain't up yet. My God, Minister, you've broken the law. There is already a man who has been appointed for 3 years, mandatorily. And what does minister do? Minister even they write the man and say, listen, yeah, I know you're supposed to serve for 3 years, but I don't want you. I don't want you. So the poor man is embarrassed because he has been named for 3 years. The law says shall. What ministers? What ministers? What ministers? What minister in the F&M does? He named one woman from social service by the name of Miss Gillian Battle. All right? That's who he named. But unless she is half retarded or she has a handicap, it is unlawful to name her. And the law say 3 years. And the man who has been named after this act came into effect, his 3 years ain't up yet. But that's what ministers in the F&M has done. That's what they've done. They ignore the law. They ignore the convention. It is like if they ain't got no education. Certainly, the F&M leadership isn't ready for government. I told y'all, there are all kind of mistakes in this. And the Tribune, with their main self, carry a story and never give me credit for exposing the fact that ministers got dead people. They never mention me. Say one anonymous source and the government told them. But it's me. All right? So, why would you put Gillian Battle when she ain't retarded? She ain't half crazy. She ain't crippled. Ain't her? And Gillian, you ought to know what the law is. And if ministers appoint you contrary to the law, you should say, my blessed Prime Minister, you have made a mistake. I could just tear up all these things, man. They ain't ready. These are simple things. And if the F&M, with over 20 cabinet ministers, could be making this kind of fundamental mistake, I call on the opposition to become friendly with ministers in the interest of national security to make sure that the F&M ain't doing a bunch of foolishness. And I'm disappointed in Carl Battle. I expect ministers to make these kind of mistakes because ministers has not been a man who word you can take. But man, there's too much mistake. They got dead people. They got gangsters. They confront, and after them confront me today. Say if I believe in second chance. I say, yeah, I believe in second chance. I say, but if you're smuggling penny cocaine, I'm prepared to forgive you. But I ain't going to put you on no sensitive board until I am sure that your sins have been wiped away. I even don't want it to be clean as snow, because you might be fooling me and using code word. Snow might mean cocaine. I don't know what they're for them doing. You all are incompetent. Goodness of mercy. You mean to tell me, Marvin, what's this? You are American trained. You're trained by the FBI. You're trained by the DEA. You know intelligence. The PLP had you at the airport. Training. And by grab, all kind of foolishness. Now, the poor people who are lawfully appointed, ministers completely ignore the law. And he appoint Gillian Battle. Gillian, I want you to have pride and shame. Don't let minister make a fool out of you. Because there's a man. I'm so sorry, sir. I's F&M who's supporting the PLP. And so, I'm not going to call you him. Because you know, minister is spite and victimized. But it's a national disgrace that you have been appointed statutorily for 3 years. And your 3 years ain't up. And ministers even ain't tell you thanks. He even ain't say goodbye. All you do is you pick up the paper. And when you look, minister got one civil servant who ain't half crazy. She ain't retarded. And she ain't got no disability. Yet this act says persons with disability. Let me read it again. Persons with disabilities equal Opportunities Act 2014. Oh, I give up. I just give up. Oh, I give up. We're going to have to find a way to move him. Lord, I thank you last year when you gave me the wisdom to incite the parliamentarians to move him when we were in opposition. It is my prayer, Lord, as soon as I can figure out how to prevent Brent Simonet from becoming Prime Minister, because if we move minutes quickly, Brent has positioned himself, and I don't want Brent to be Prime Minister. So as soon as I can figure it out, I call on the parliamentarians in opposition. We have to move Minnis. We have to move him. He doesn't understand what he's doing. I don't know why he's not seeking advice. This is too much mistake. I mean, I'm going to send this to the corruption unit. Man, it's powerful. I am sending this to the corruption unit. Why has Minnis appointed a body contrary to the law? I'm sending this for investigation. That's what I'm going to do, because I don't understand what's going on. My spiritual advisor, I have surrendered. All for me I surrender. I surrender all. I surrender all. I mean, I don't understand it.
What are you doing? You singing?
I'm trying to sing.
Oh.
Look at here, my spiritual advisor. My God. Every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's this? I mean, Minnis, ain't nobody you could ask? Nobody? Nobody? Now they are going to accuse me and say all I'm trying to do is embarrass the government. No, I'm not trying to do it. I'm just trying to show that notwithstanding Minnis stands as a strong man, Minnis and his 34 men. In the 34 men, you mean to tell me there's not one who was close to Minnis to say PM? PM, let me see what you're doing. Let me make sure. Because there's a Negro in the Bahamas who is committed to watch everything they are doing. Minnis, please stop it, or I can have to go to the anti-corruption unit. I think that's what I'm going to do, my spiritual advisor. Should I report the Prime Minister? I'm speaking to you.
I'm silent, man. You go ahead.
You need not fear.
It
Because
has nothing to do with fear.
I made a national call for the people them to give you work. And praise the Lord, Stanley Mitchell of Pinling, PLP, has today told me that big yard that he has on the eastern out east, that job is for you. He said he heard when I called, and he's prepared to have you on Freedom March, and he's giving you that big contract. You hear me? So my spiritual advisor, you have a wonderful job. Pinling PLP, Stanley Mitchell. Brother Mitchell, I thank you that he has come to your rescue.
Mr. Monica, I'm listening to you, honestly, and I see all of your points, and I am soaking them in. The only thing that's resonating in my mind right now is that I am sure that the Prime Minister does have advisors. I'm sure of that.
You believe Ace is advising him?
See,
Ace went to St. Augustine.
No, why?
He's not saved.
Why are you doing that?
I'll tell you
Mr.
why.
Monica, no, that is not fair.
Don't attack
No,
him.
no.
You know what he did to me?
No. Listen, Mr. Monica, that is not fair.
What is
All
not fair?
I said to you is this, that I am sure that the Prime Minister does have advisors.
Well,
why did you jump to that?
Well,
Why did you do
let me
that?
curse them. I shall go to the penal code. When our currency was in pound, shilling, and pence. And I'm going to curse you all with £5 note words. £5 notes. Curse. I curse y'all. £5. Y'all go look at the old penal code so you can see what is the £5 note. I curse you with £5 notes. Curse, curse. And if I could add another pound. How much is £5 in modern money, my spiritual advisor? Try and find out.
It should be about $8. And
That's $8? I need a stronger daily word then. £5? Anyway,
let me check the rate out.
Check the rating.
Yeah.
Man, this government, you can imagine? You can imagine all the laws that the FNM has been breaking? You mean to tell me ministers not taking advantage of the Attorney General? And Ellsworth Johnson, they smart. Ellsworth Johnson used to be the president of the Bahamas Bar Association. That's who he is. Carl Bettel was trained in England by white people who understood the law, white people who understand the convention, white people who understood everything. How is it, Carl, that you are allowing the nation prime minister to make all these mistakes? I'm going to the corruption unit. I have to. Who's in charge of the corruption unit?
£5 converted to US dollars is $6.57.
That ain't a strong daily wage.
Huh?
That's only $5.
Yeah,
How much?
apparently the pound has dropped a lot. $6.57.
$6.57?
Yeah, $6.
I need to find something that is a dirty word more valuable than that.
$6.
Well, I say treble the £5 curse word. Goodness me, all through this. I ain't jealous of them. If I was a member of the House of Assembly, ministers could not publish this. If I was in the Senate as an FNM, my prime minister would not be able to release this kind of mediocre work. Could not. What kind of members of parliament you all are to allow the nation prime minister to be making all these appointments are contrary to law? Brent Semnet, you're a white man. You should know what's going on. Oh, I surrender. Oh, I surrender. I think I'm going to drink me some more water. I surrender all. I surrender all. All for me, my precious Savior. I surrender all. I surrender menace. I surrender menace. All the incompetence, all the law breaking, all the stupidity. I surrender all. Ah, goodness of mercy. I just can't believe it. Anyway, let me leave that alone before my pressure go up. Let me look at another point. The PLP, during the campaign, told the police them, listen, stand still steady and vote PLP. Stand still steady and vote PLP. But y'all listen to minutes. And then, after y'all voted out the PLP, because all y'all policemen, go on FNL. And so, the next thing you know, you got the money. So Christie was being truthful. Now, I am getting reports from the police that school soon open. They were so happy that the day is the 28th. So they go to the bank, only to discover one Negro officer. They move $500. They stop paying them because they got some complex argument. I hate to say it because in my rush, as the police them try to educate me, I believe I got a little piece of it off. And I don't want to mislead the public. But it goes like this. I was so happy. Today is the 28th. So I rush off to the bank. And when I got there, they deducted $500 because some of the officers who took their exams and got promoted. Marvin now say the promotion was too quick or too premature. Marvin, forgive me if I have it wrong. But Marvin, this can't be right. Don't forget, Penland them let you join the force at the rank of inspector. You couldn't do jumping jacks then. They even allow you to do jumping jacks. They even allow you to do muscle up because you were smart. And they let you right in. Now you're a big thing. You're the minister. And you ain't looking out for your men. Come, Marvin. Don't treat them like that. These officers got children. And schools soon open. And you know how the woman them is. When the man them don't bring the money, they then curse out the man. Say the man ain't no good. You can cause the woman them to curse out this man, these policemen. All right? And they're very upset. Very upset. They turn to me. They ask me what I think they should do. What you think I told them? I said, officers, let me pray over it. Because I want the police to be law-abiding and faithful to the state and faithful to the people. Because as recent as this morning, there was another murder. And the police are overworked and overstressed, looking at people's brain in the road, people's guts, blood, and all kind of things. At least, Marvin, you should pay them. And if you ain't got the money, Brent Simmons had got it. He got $156 million. Borrow it from Brent. All right? Borrow it from Brent. Whenever the FNM can't find money, go to Brent. Brent got plenty money. Brent got all money. Sponge your money. Ah, Brent, help them out, hey? Do a little something, Brent. Goodness me. I mean, I thought when ministers chose Brent, and they ain't gonna find no money, they could borrow a little something from Brent. And then, don't look when Brent take the next contract, like the one he took at Pinlings Airport. Oh boy, I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm so sorry I have to be criticizing my party, but they ain't treating the police them right. Poor police, working hard.
Your party?
Yeah.
So you still FNM?
Of course I'm an FNM. Don't mind what they say.
Yeah,
you look at me.
That ain't what they tell me.
Don't mind them. You look at me.
That ain't what they tell me.
I'm as much FNM as the man who told me about the crux in the FNM.
They told me that membership has been revoked.
Well, they didn't give me natural justice. Right? Why would a government...
That's what I understand.
Why would a party in government be expelling members? Man, they silly. But if I discover that y'all revoked my membership, I'm going to take y'all to court. And then I'm going to march y'all out. Backbenchers, get ready. This is like football. I need some of y'all to block, what the man name? Brent Simmons. Block him, and let's move Minnis. We're going to move him in accordance with the Constitution. I need a resolution, a vote of no confidence, because Minnis is letting us down. When he's asked to spell no, he play Latin on us. NPO. They take back the police money. Poor police. Oh my. We can only fight corruption in the police force when they have worked so hard and we pay them. We pay them. And then they ain't got no excuse. For the whole $500. Marvin, mine, you have to do better than this, you know, Marvin, or God can charge you. I always thought that Marvin was safe. I have doubts now. Marvin is not safe. Marvin, you're not safe. All right? And I'm going to duck your daddy. I'm going into hiding. I go into hiding every week, my spiritual advisor, because Minnis is trying to lock me up. And I'm hiding. Again, should I go to Inagua?
It's up to you, Mr. Monker. There's plenty of islands now we can go to.
There are 700 islands.
Plenty islands.
In the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And 2,000 rocks and keys. I'm hiding from brother number 1. That's Minnis. Brother number 2. That's K. Peter Turnquest. I'm going to tell you how he's on the wrong track when I return. This is Freedom March. We are in trouble with these King George III Negro citizens.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. My spiritual advisor is Bradley Road. I ask members in my listening audience to give my spiritual advisor some landscaping business. I thank Mr. Stanley Mitchell, who is a Pinling PLP, who heard my cry and has given my spiritual advisor the biggest yard to landscape and clean up. I need that because the forces of evil, led by my party, the FNM, are threatening him. And I want them to stop before I say, booyaka! Stop it. Bradley's a Bahamian. He's a wonderful FNM. I need him here to keep me from going over the bar. So please give my spiritual advisor a little work. There is a relationship that exists in the country that is healthy politically. You would recall that the former prime ministers, Perry Gladstone Christie and Hubert Alexander Ingram, were good friends. And they held reverse political office. There was a point when Ingram, that's Papa, was prime minister and Christie was leader of the opposition. And then it reversed, where Christie is prime minister and Ingram was leader of the opposition, even if it was for a short period of time. Many PLPs and FNM supporters were always suspicious of their political relationship because they were good friends. Good friendship is good for the democracy. And I give you an example of what I'm talking about. Christie and Ingram understood something about the political system, about the Constitution, where the leader are required to consult. The prime minister must consult with the leader of the opposition, and the leader of the opposition, from time to time, will consult with the prime minister. Therefore, under their leadership, supporters of the PLP and supporters of the FNM never arrived at a tense moment where violence could break out, because Christie and Ingram were smart. They understood the Constitution that Britain gave to us, and Christie and Ingram were civilized. A couple days ago, opposition leader Philip Brave Davis, who is a part of Christie, Ingram, and Co., recognizing the importance of consultation between the prime minister and the leader of the opposition, Mr. Davis wrote the prime minister requesting a meeting. Mr. Minnis, who seems to be uncultured and uncouth, he decided that he will not play his constitutional role as prime minister, but instead announced that since the letter is public, Davis knows how to reach him. Some nonsense, not recognizing that when we are talking about constitutionalism and when we are talking about consultation, it must be done formally. Minnis has acted irresponsibly, and I advise him to watch Christie and Ingram as prime minister and leader of the opposition as they reverse position, and how smooth the country has operated. Christie knew that there was a limit that he should not go, and Ingram knew there was a limit when Christie was prime minister that he should not pursue, because the world was watching. Minnis and those, having been elected, they failed to recognize their important role as government. So they accused Christie and the PLP of stealing $2 billion in the VAT money. They talk about all kind of nonsense. Meanwhile, them foreign organization that can rate the country was listening. Now they're in trouble. Now minister has to say he get cut because he got to please them foreign white people what the company name? Moody and whoever they are. Menace is on the wrong track when the leader of the opposition requests a meeting. However it was done, you be courteous and you said, come, let's meet, let's sit down and talk and make something constructive and positive. It is clear to me that Dr. Menace has not been educated in the white people of England, British convention and tradition. And that's what we're faced with. Philip Brave Davis clearly understands the convention, understands the British rules, and therefore he did it properly. Somebody needs to talk to Menace, because if it doesn't happen, it is a rocky road that the country need not go. As simple as that. Ingram and Christie demonstrated political maturity. Davis was at all time, what is tree? Was at all material time a part of the Trinity. Christie, Ingram, and Coe. So he understood the convention. He knew what to do. I would suggest that somebody educate the Prime Minister on the British tradition and convention. This is only me, a poor Negro man from Black Village, who's telling our Prime Minister how it ought to be done. You don't have to listen to me. He doesn't. Somebody should speak to him and tell him that when the leader of the opposition requests a meeting, he should have the door wide open and say, come, Mr. Leader of the opposition, let us sit down and let us reason together. It's only my advice. Philip Brave Davis, I salute you publicly. You did it right. Somebody need to talk to Menace because he did it wrong. My spiritual advisor, let's open up the telephone line, read text.
Yeah, man, we get over.
I got more things to say.
We get over.
But I ain't gonna say it because Minister got me mad. Nobody wouldn't tell Minister how you're supposed to do these things, man. I even don't want to run on about Kevin Peter to
You can let me read the text.
So read
what?
the text. All
All
right?
right, the police in Grand Bahama have to drive their own car to crime scene. Where are the cars for Freeport? Good evening, Mr. Advisor. It appears as if you're not comfortable anymore. You're constantly disagreeing with Mr. Monker with no valid points. I used to really respect you, but it's clear you are now compromised. So maybe you should do the honorable thing before you explode on live TV.
Oh, no!
Thank
I
you,
need
Charlie.
the spiritual advisor. Please don't tell him to go.
Ask Mr. Monker if he would approve of a woman being leader of the PLP. Good to see you back, Mr. Advisor.
I have a phone call. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Please answer me.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monker.
Good afternoon, my love.
This is one of the women them.
Oh, hallelujah. What's on your mind? Talk to me.
Turn your TV down.
I called to ask you think we're going to be communists?
I don't think so.
Menace strikes me more as a fascist than a communist. But I'm watching them because they're moving against God's church. That is usually the first sign of communism.
Yes,
Okay?
I love your show. You and spiritual advisor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tell him hi for me.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good.
Great, great, great.
Well,
Have a good weekend.
you take it
You
here.
too.
Be
Okay.
safe.
All right.
I'll be in hiding, okay?
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
God bless you. Go ahead, spiritual advisor.
Senator, you have the best talk show. They better pray. Senator, don't go on radio. They will be finished. Senator Minnis even shocked he won the election. Do you think Papa caused him to win?
Papa Costas. Papa know this was in the deal. Let me take another call. Papa Costas. Papa, you Costas. Now Minnis is just faxing up the place. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello, Mr. Monka.
Sir,
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I
You
am.
and your spiritual advisor.
How you doing?
what's on your mind?
First time caller.
Welcome.
Okay, welcome to Freedom March.
Mr. Monka, I always listen to you, but it's the first time calling you. I want to say I want to encourage you. You're doing a good job.
I thank you.
Continue the good works. But Mr. Monka, there's something I want to mention. When I saw the news yesterday, the gentleman with all of those children,
Yes.
would they give them 1 day to evacuate that property?
Uh-huh.
There's nothing you can do to help those people.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not aware totally of the story. I did glimpse something in the paper, so I don't know what the facts are.
Yes, sir.
If they have been evicted pursuant to a court order, they will have to move. You follow my
I
point?
understand that.
But
I understand that.
I don't know what the facts are. There was
Yes, sir. I
only
know. We don't know what the facts are. He said that they was on the property for 20 years. But what I'm saying is that, in a country like the Bahamas, there are people living in tents, man. I mean, it's more like we living back in the Ukraine time, man. I mean, there's all these millionaires, multi-billionaire behemoths in this country. You tell me that all these vacant land, vacant buildings, and vacant houses and stuff, you tell me they cannot say, I mean, there's no mercy. If there was in Freeport, I would let them, I have a piece of property vacant in the house, I would let them stay there.
Okay.
If there was in Freeport, but in Nassau, man, I mean, we got multi-millionaires over there. I mean, to see something like that with those handicapped children and things, man, somebody got to have some type of mercy
I am certain
and love of God in their heart, to reach out to those people, man.
there is a
So,
Negro.
Mr. Monka, I know you as a human activist, and Mr. Monka, I always encourage by watching your show. And I encourage you, Mr. Monka. I encourage you, and I ask you to continue to advocate, especially for the poor man, for the little man.
I'll find out.
Right now, as you said the other day, and it's true. Right now, the country right now is ready and violent because it's more like the politicians, them that are in power now, they're focusing more on these former MPs.
Well, that is true
Instead of trying to
because
focus on running the country.
that is true because what
And then,
would Peter?
people suffering, people losing their homes. I mean, people right now, I'm sleeping in old cars. and
It's the
stuff.
people's time.
And-
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about because take for instance Peter Tanquest, our lovely Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. One of the
Yes,
first
sir.
things he put in the budget is playing
Yes, sir.
parts. You see my point? But I can check into it and see what is happening, and hopefully I could report back here on Monday. You take good care.
Yes, sir, Mr. Monka, God bless you. If there's anything you can do to help those people, God will ever bless you, Mr. Monka. You and the spiritual advisor, there's anything you all can do. I mean, they are behaviors, man, and they need help.
We will see what we can do, eh?
Compassion and watch those people get thrown on the street like dogs, man.
I thank you.
So God bless you, Mr.
I
Monka.
got to let you go. We can see what we can do.
My prayers is always with you and your spiritual advisor.
All right,
God
thank
bless
you.
Have a blessing.
Have a
God
good
bless
weekend.
you, my brother.
Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
This
My
is
spirit-
Mark.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Listen, I want to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
For 4 years, the former prime minister is running this country down. Where were you and the spiritual advisor was?
But I don't know where the spiritual advisor was, but to the extent I was also very critical of the PLP.
You don't say nothing about it. When
Yeah.
Christie run this country under the ground.
Listen to me, Christie is doing more for the country than Minnis has done since he
Listen,
got
minister,
elected.
the minister take over.
Hang up on this Negro. He's cursing.
Hi, Mr. Monka. There's a text coming in here. What can the people do to remove Dr. Minnis? It is clear to everyone that he doesn't know how to govern a country.
I will tell you, you would recall when Barack Obama, the first African American president got elected, he immediately flew to Egypt, where he spoke to the young people, and he talked in a very sophisticated way about democracy. And the next thing we know, millions of Egyptians occupied the center of their town. Let us occupy Russell Square and Parliament Square, and let us not move until Menace and the FNM resign. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Speak to me. Speak to me.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Hello, talk.
Mr. Mankoff?
Yes. Yes.
Hello?
She's listening to TV.
Stop listening to the TV.
Turn your TV down, please.
Listen to me. Are you listening? Woman, are you listening to your leader? Behold, the woman named Sugar.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Talk.
I am one of the woman them.
Wow.
Okay, I love you.
You love me? How old are you?
And I love your spiritual advisor.
Wow.
Yeah, we love
And
you
I
too.
want your spiritual advisor to know that I am praying for both of you all.
Absolutely.
He must stay there and read the scripture and go by God's word.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't want him to go contrary on the F&M side. Because I know him from he was a boy.
Really?
I know his parents. I know his mother. I know his father. So I want the spiritual advisor to stay on the right side.
Absolutely.
Now, Mr. Moncur, this is a charge to you.
Yes.
You are doing the work of the people.
Yes.
And let me let you know that the Prime Minister only looking out for the all UBP what was in power from that time.
Wow.
Every time you go to his office, only the white people there.
Really?
Now we leave the people who vote for him, this low grass, the grassroots, to pick up bottle. That's what he doing, for them to pick up bottle.
Wow.
But let me tell the Prime Minister one thing. What goes around comes around.
Wow.
And he is going to be like Haman and Mordecai. So dig two ditch, not one.
But let me
Have a blessed day.
PLP!
All the way.
PLP!
All the way.
Okay, thank you, Mama.
All the way.
Okay, Mama.
All the way.
Welcome to Freedom March.
She's from Exuma.
Hello? Are you there? Hello? Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monica.
Yes, my dear. How are you?
Hello?
I can hear you. Speak to me. Speak to me.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you today?
Listen, I'm vexed. Go ahead, talk to me. Talk.
How are you?
I'm fine, but I'm angry.
Good afternoon to the spiritual advisor.
How you doing?
Talk. Keep talking.
I'm calling in from Freeport.
Wow.
Welcome.
Welcome,
to Freedom
Freeport.
I'm one of the women them.
This is powerful.
And so is my mother and my 1-month-old baby.
Wow.
I'd like you to give a shout out to my mother,
What's her name?
Teresa, the Bahamian Mona Lisa.
Teresa.
Today is her birthday.
Wow. Teresa.
And she watches your show every day.
And she's one of the women there? Teresa.
The Bahamian Mona Lisa.
The Bahamian Mona Lisa. Happy birthday to you. And I wish you the best. Okay? I thank you, sister. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Speak to me.
Hello, Mr. Menace.
No, I'm not Mr. Menace. He's in the cabinet somewhere.
How you doing? I call you Menace. Listen here.
Don't call me Menace before them F and them case me out.
I had to call you Mr. Menace because why? Listen here.
Yeah?
Tell spiritual advisor, don't be ashamed. Tell Menace when he wrong. Menace is very wrong. Menace doing too much foolishness and he's a child of God. Be honest.
That is true.
Absolutely.
I thank you. The spiritual advisor will take note of
I
what
talk
you
to
say.
Menace.
You had a spiritual advisor?
I heard her.
She wants you to let the Prime Minister know when he's wrong.
Absolutely.
Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. Okay, my spiritual advisor, read text.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Monka and your spiritual advisor. Mr. Monka, you need to calm down, all right? Because minutes ain't safe. Could you shout out Miss Dorothy Lois Knowles and Mrs. Jasmine Bethel on Harper Island? They are your women, them, and they listen to you on a daily basis.
Dorothy and...
Let me go back to that.
Dorothy
text.
Knowles, right?
Yeah, Miss Dorothy Lois Knowles.
Dorothy Lois Knowles.
And Mrs. Jasmine Bethel.
And Mrs. Jasmine Bethel. I'm so honored that y'all are one of the women them. But you're going to have to prove it. Because when I come down to Harbour Island, I want to talk to all the women them and all the man them. Because it is revolution time. It is time that the women them mature and receive their political blessing. So I salute y'all. Next, my
Good day, Mr. Monka and Mr. S.A. Let's be real, Bahamians. Let's be real. Bahamians are not helping each other anymore. It was sad what has happened to those people on the news. I remember when Mr. Franklin Wilson knocked down that building on his property. That was a disgrace. Where is the love for my people, Mr. Monka?
Next phone call. Hello. Welcome to Freedom Match. Hello.
Hello.
Sir.
Good evening, Senator Rodney Monka, JP.
Speak, brother, speak.
And good evening, spiritual advisor.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, Reconcile here.
Reconcile, you all right?
Yeah.
Good,
you know,
good.
Mr. Monka, I'm enjoying this show.
Well, thank you.
And I saw the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, on the news a night or two ago talking about taxes and maybe hinting that there may be some increase in tax and all that they have to do. Mr. Monka, I am never so disenchanted and, disgusted about what the FNM is turning out to be against the Bahamian people.
But didn't you just vote FNM yesterday?
Mr. Manka.
Yes?
Can I speak, please?
I know, but I just wanted to find out something.
I did vote FNM.
And you don't think you should give them a little bit more time?
No, I think that they lied to the people.
You really
they said that they're going to repeal what? This is why I voted for them. See, Manka, I never joined no political party. Unlike you, I never joined no party.
Okay.
And I don't intend to. I am a Bahamian and I'm a nationalist.
But you voted FNM because they told you they was going to do what?
Repeal the
And they seemed so sincere that they were going to make a difference for me as a small man, as a grassroots, as someone from the inner city, like 90+% of the people who voted for them, even inclusive of some PLPs, just because of their propaganda.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, Mr. Manka, I am angry and I'm mad about what they're doing.
Who's your MP?
My MP is Mr. Alston Moultrie.
Well, call your MP. Goodbye. You should have listened to me. Go call your MP or fax him. Next caller.
Why don't you allow the man to speak?
Hello? All the time I give him?
Oh, Lord. You think that's fair, Mr. Monka? How you doing, Senator?
Yes?
That's proper.
Yeah, Senator, you're doing bad just now. A lot of people who voted for the government feel the way you feel, but you asked a question, and I didn't vote for the PLP. I didn't vote for the FNM. But I just wanted to point something. Think we need to give the Free National Move, give this government a chance. When I say a chance, we need to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Yes, sir? How you doing, spiritual advisor?
Menace is appointing dead people. How much more chance am I given?
So, spiritual advisor, Senator saying the people dead or that someone with somebody who name who dead?
Well, I mean, they were doing some checks to make sure that, the names weren't either duplicated.
Are you listening to me? The FNM named dead people.
Huh? The dead people, eh?
All these living people, Menace, no. My God. He's choosing the
So, Senator, you got to bring Marvin James back on it. You say the police officers say $500 get taken away off their check or something?
Yeah, Marvin, I don't know what Marvin is doing.
So that meaning Keith Bell and the former government promoted people who wasn't eligible or who wasn't qualified to be promoted?
That
was
is
too
not
far?
true.
What you say?
What you're saying is not true.
I'm asking.
I'm telling you it's not true. I say Likito Mama and Ching 142. And £5 notes. Time 3. £50 notes. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back after the break.
Do you have something to say to the Senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Freedom March broadcasting live on ILTV. Here in Nassau, Bahamas. Rodney Monker is my name, and Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Today, 5 Negro women went outside the old British American Insurance Company to picket them. They had been complaining to me for weeks and months, and I had to pray over it. And finally, after praying over it, I said to them, perhaps you ought to picket. I don't want y'all to break no law. So go and see the police and apply for a permit, because y'all are citizens and I'm the leader of the woman down. They applied to the police and the police gave them a runaround. I was very upset over it because the acting commissioner of police, he's from Exuma. The man who owned the building, he from Exuma. And my ma from Exuma. See, I'm older than them. So it ain't difficult for me to call Cousin Lena or Aunt Titty and ask them who these young men were. But I was happy after criticizing the police and pointing out a historical position that Commissioner of Police have consistently taken from the appointment of B.K. Barnaby, straight up to Green Slade. So I'm happy that the acting commissioner did permit them to picket. And those women have told me they have permission to picket all of next week. I've assured them, if need be, I'm willing to call more women out to join them. Those women have a right to peaceful demonstration, and I want the police to grant citizens that opportunity. See, I'm faced with all kinds of situations, all kinds of problems, and I have to be responsible and give people good advice. And the best advice that I could give them was to say, go outside the old British American Insurance Company. Is it the old British American Insurance Company?
Where's the building?
Right there on East-West Highway.
That's the old
what is the name
Family
of
Guardian, eh?
That's Family Guardian? No.
Right here by across the street from
yeah, what is
C.W.
that?
Sawyer?
Yeah.
It's right on the corner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Family Guardian.
Family Guardian.
Yeah, that's old Family
I
Guardian.
got it wrong? BAFA. Chester Cooper Company.
Oh, they were there too? BA Financial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Chester Cooper Company.
I'm just making sure I have the right building.
Yeah.
It's right there in the corner next door to where the...
Right next door to the funeral home.
Oh, okay, okay.
Garden
yes,
Hills.
Yes, yes.
So,
oh, I was thinking the wrong
let
yes, yes,
the
yes.
woman them picket. All right? And so I'm happy that they're picketing, and I'm disappointed that the Tribune ain't going to cover them, the Guardian ain't going, only ZNS. So we'll see what happens. Sisters, have no fear. Your leader and your sugar. I'm here. All right? This is great. Any phone calls? Well, welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka. How you doing?
I am fine, but angry.
Oh, that's good. And your spiritual advisor.
I'm fine. How you doing?
Okay.
Great.
I'm calling from Freeport.
What Freeport? Listen, I got to calm down. How are you?
Okay. And I have another two more your woman them, Evelyn and Nana Johnson.
Evelyn?
Two of your woman them. You could say a shout out to them for me, please.
Let me just write that down, because my grandma's name was Evelyn. Evelyn? What Evelyn's surname is? Johnson?
Williams.
Williams. Goodness me. And who
and
else?
Lana Johnson.
And Lana Johnson. Now, how old this woman is?
Oh, one of them is 60 and one is 80.
Okay, I think I like the 80-year-old.
Okay.
Is that Evelyn or is that Lana?
That's Anna.
Lana, listen, I'm happy to have an 80-year-old who's supporting me. You're a wonderful woman. And Evelyn Williams, you are 60. So we are in set. I salute all the women in Grand Bahama, and I yearn for a day when I could come down there and help you all to march for better working and living conditions.
Thanks.
You're welcome,
Okay.
sister. Have a safe weekend.
You too.
God bless you.
We need to do some shout-outs, okay?
Read some
Just-
text first.
All right, I've been promising Gerard Simet to give him a special shout-out from Freedom March, and also Mr. International. Mr. International and a few of his buddies are listening to you, Mr. Monica. So, Mr. International, I finally did it. Shout out to you and Mr. Alfred Williams Jr.
Hello.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, let me get that monkey off my back.
Mr. Monica, how can you love Trump and want him to stay as the U.S. president, but hate Minnis and want to have him removed as the Bahamian PM? Oh, I know. Trump is white and Minnis is black. Now you stop that with your racist self. I love Trump because I believe he's going to be the first president of the United States of America who is going to do something for black people. Honestly, I believe it. And as I listen to him on a daily basis, I am satisfied that he's going to be the best president of the United States. Now, I do not hate Dr. Minnis. Take it from me. I don't hate him. All right? Stop saying that. Don't forget now, Minnis is grossly inefficient. And I have the evidence. There are one or two things that I've not said. And I can't say it because, you know, I have certain conflicts. If I say it, there are friends who are going to be angry. There are relatives who are going to be angry. So I'm conflicted and I've held back. Other than that, all I have is scuds. Because Minnis certainly should find himself a good attorney. Because all he's doing is faxing up the appointments. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Okay, there's no call. Go spiritual advisor.
Yeah, okay.
Don't take no more calls.
Mr. Monica, do you think Renard Henfield will march if taxes increase? Mr. Monica, add this up, please. PLP plus corruption equals
FNM
equals NTA, UB, Maritime School, BAMSI, NHI, plenty jobs and contracts, 5 years of 2. $5 billion borrowed. FNM plus transparency on $700 million in budget. Job layoffs, 10% cut. Someone VAT will be raised and more trash talk. And I'm confused. Please help me solve this problem.
Look, the FNM ain't safe. Next.
Good day, Mr. Monica, Conspiracy Advisor. Keep up the good work. Palm Key Development still open and washing drug money. Wow. Good afternoon. Please don't forget to give me the information and the licenses. Oh, and the newspaper date for those churches. Somebody wanted the information.
What they want?
They want the date on that newspaper for the
church.
churches. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Give a shout out, Mr. Monica, to Sharice Washington. She is one of the women them.
Listen, Sharice, I yearn to hold you in my arms. You are a wonderful Negro woman.
Good afternoon, Senator. Question: how come Charlene St. Johnson is on 4 boards, and how Elaine Gomez on Zenith board, and her husband is the AGM there?
Listen, you know it's corruption. I can't say it too hard. It's corruption.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monica, and your essay. I'm one of the women them from Bryland. When are you going to come to help us march?
The next holiday, I'm going to hide in harbor. Just let the waterman or the iceman know I'm coming down. Him and his charming wife. Go ahead.
One of the women officers who work at the police station in Bryland, her name can be called Officer Taylor if you want, as a young woman who rides up and down in the mine, on the mine, Dunmore Street, on the main, sorry, that should be Main. They have Dunmore Street in a white little car speeding up and down all day. Many complaints to the station about him not doing anything. What is happening? Can you help us with this, please?
Listen, I know that person. When I come down, I'm going to have a quiet talk with them. Just relax. Go ahead. Spiritual advisor, what was the law for your contract? Did they stop your job? Next text.
Shout out to Jeremy Thompson. His birthday is today. Happy birthday, Jeremy Thompson.
Happy birthday, Thompson. Mr. Monka, please get Graham Weatherford on your show, please. Bye, Graham. Listen, this show really is not about guests. There are many talk shows in the country that have guests. Here on Freedom March, my spiritual advisor is a biblical scholar, and I am a political scholar. So it's not really like that. You follow my point? So what we do is we commentate. All right? Go ahead. Go ahead, my spiritual
hello,
advisor.
spiritual advisor. Please tell Mr. Monka to stop with his witch hunt. We love him, but he sounds like a crazy man. Mr. Monka is a very intelligent man, mind you, but he really behaving ridiculously today.
Be careful of calling me crazy, because when I left Sunderland's as an attendant, I read many files. Watch out for me.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka. On your essay, if Prime Minister Dr. Minnis continues to paint a gloomy picture of the economy, of the economic outlook for the country, he will have to deal with what's ahead for his administration. Secondly, we have not heard from Brent Simnett, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment and Immigration. Surely he must have many plans to prove his financial prowess. I want to see him motivate. I want to see how motivated he is to produce more Bahamian businessmen like himself.
Wow. Senator,
interesting text.
You honestly think it's fair? You have all these fans, wow, in Grand Bahama, and you won't make a trip here to meet with us? God save the Queen. I'm coming. You see, there is a woman who works at National Insurance. She's the only woman I've met that I feel comfortable flying a plane with. I'm able to say to her, sister woman, I'm afraid. May I lay my head on your chest? And she's a godly woman. She says, Senator, you may lay your head on my chest. So I'm going to see if I can convince her to fly with me. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monka, if the church and the state is different, then all pastors and priests should resign from any political party.
Leave Brother Ranford, what's his name?
Is it Patterson?
Patterson. Leave him alone, okay? You know it's the people's time. All right, go ahead.
Somebody sent a text again, if you would approve for a woman to be a prime minister.
Would you like a woman to be a prime minister? Listen, I had Loretta lined up to be the next prime minister. And the next thing I know, y'all didn't listen. Okay? Go ahead. Next.
Okay, text. Boy, it's 25 of these. Mr. Monka, did you share the bow ties with the essay today?
The spiritual advisor is wearing my bow tie. Bow tie number 1.
Breaking news, the post office march was today.
Did John, what is John's name? Did John Pinder show up? Because Minnis got him on a board. John, did you show up? Never abandon the workers, okay? And for those workers, if you have been abandoned by John, then you know what that means.
Mr. Monka, you need to watch out for the Prime Minister. He will turn out to be the best Prime Minister this country has ever had.
It's my prayer. I would want Dr. Minnis to be the best Prime Minister that the country has ever had. But certainly, having examined all of the mistake he has made with his statutory appointment, I'm very, very concerned for him. How can a Prime Minister, with all those business people, all those lawyers, smart Sidney Colley, Minnis knew that Sidney Colley had told us that there was about 6,000 FNMs waiting to be appointed. Next thing I know, Minnis gone to the graveyard and just appointing spirit. Next.
Good day, Mr. Monka. I want you to send birthday greetings out to Tasha from my sisters Lisa, Janoka, and Jeanette. and from my mom, Jennifer, and sister-in-law, Jamaica.
Tasha, you heard what your family say. Happy birthday to you. Go ahead.
Hello. This is Paula from Benjamin Town, Eleuthera.
Paula, how are you?
From Benjamin Town, eh?
You're from Benjamin Town.
Rodney, please tell those church putting millions into buildings to stop it and put that money into helping homeless who getting put off their properties. Now, that's an interesting text. Rodney, please tell those churches that are putting millions of dollars into buildings to stop it and put that money into helping the homeless who are getting put off their property. I love that text 100%.
Well, my spiritual advisor, since you love the text, speak.
We got a couple more texts.
Speak to the
Let's take
church.
more time. Is it true that Simon Wilson has been replaced by Marlon Johnson, who was formerly from BTC? You know anything
I don't
about that?
know. I do know that in deep F&M cycle, they had a searchlight on him. Don't forget now, there are some fundamental errors that Simon made. Don't forget, Simon and John Roll, they made some fundamental errors. They were giving instructions to the treasurer of the Bahamas, contrary to the Treasury Act. And when I wrote them and I told them, I said, listen, the law don't allow it. They ignored me. And they tried to get me to pay the stamp taxes to the wrong place. All them sensible lawyers did that. But guess what? They couldn't get me to do it. And I didn't stop until I got the treasurer to accept the check. So they didn't realize that the F&M was watching and they were not listening to me. I used to come out because I knew the party secret. I still know. And I would say it, but they ignore me. Now, Simon is on the stop list politically. The F&M will soon question him because he has plenty questions
Mr.
to
Monka,
be given.
why is it that Carl Bethel and his brother Lyle Bethel has not spoken to their mother, who hasn't had a regular meal in 3 years?
Now, you all stop that. That's wicked.
Yeah, I was
All
wondering.
right? You should not have read that, my spiritual
Yeah, I was
advisor. I
wondering
know
about
Carl is a decent man. Certainly, if Carl gave me bread to eat, I know he would do it for his blessed mother. We must not take the politics too low. Don't do that. All right? And the same principle is applicable to Pastor Lyles. If you want to criticize these people, don't do that. There is a standard that we must not descend to. Carl, I apologize to you and Pastor Lyles. I know that you all are great citizens.
Good afternoon, Mr. Justice of the Peace. Could you please ask the Ministry of Tourism to pay the entertainers their monies? Most of the entertainers are afraid to speak up in fear of not getting more jobs. Some of us
I would
are
want to
owed
do
monies
that,
from
but
June, and
I
bills
would
are
want to do
overdue.
that, but management tells me I must not call Mr. De Aguilar name. But De Aguilar, my first cousin told me use my family. Pay the people them. All right? Because you make plenty money from me. All my clothes. I take them to get iron. And one thing with y'all can iron good. Especially how you all have these brand new irons. And watch it.
Mr. Monka, or should I say Farrakhan, you are treading on dangerous grounds.
Please.
You need to get your
Don't
facts and priorities right.
Please don't do that to me. I'm a Christian. All right? The next thing the Americans put me in one computer. All right? I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in Jehovah. I believe in the Christian denomination that I'm a part of. Okay?
Mhm.
And if you continue to do that, I'm going to have to curse you with a 5-pound note word.
Could you please give Dr. Menace a fighting chance?
I'm trying to resuscitate him. But he's such a stubborn patient. I'm trying to.
How much time did you give PGC, and he still made a colossal mess in our country? Please stop embarrassing yourself, Mr. Monka. I would like to ask your spiritual advisor if his father is Clarence Roll. No, it's not Clarence Roll. How can you say Dr. Menace is not saved? Isn't he a Roman Catholic just as you are? You're certainly not saved, Mr. Monka. Mr. Spiritual
We
Advi-
have received words
Mhm.
that Menace may have abandoned the faith, and he now congregates on the Interfield Road. Go ahead, next.
Mr. Spiritual Advisor, you're falling on your job. Try and keep Mr. Munker in control. He needs to be on medication. Mr. Munker, when are you having your wife on the show? I would really like to see her.
I keep my wife out of politics because people say bad things, and I can't take it. All right? So I said to her, woman, whatever political expression that you wish to make, you ought to make it through me. I don't want you to be in politics. If I wanted a political wife, I would have married Janet Boswick Jr. I don't want a political wife.
Oh,
okay?
You're something else. Mr.
Yeah.
Munker, is it true that the reason why Loretta Butler Turner is not Prime Minister is because of you?
Well, that might be true, since I could not get to Long Island to campaign for her. Okay? Next.
The post office march was supposed to be today, and John Pender did not show up.
You know what kind of man John is. John is F&M now, and he's not going against his party and government.
Mr. Munker, could it be a different person with a similar name? There are many such cases like that.
What name are you referring
They're
to?
talking about the names. Well,
listen.
Anyhow.
Take it from me, eh? I'm F&M. I know what's going on. I'm being feed information from the party because they are F&Ms. They're just waiting till they could get their little contract. They want to get rid of Menace. They're very upset with him. They're even blaming Camille Johnson. You see Camille? They're blaming her. Monday, if God spare my life, we will look at Camille Johnson and we'll see whether or not she is proofreading these documents. Because this morning an F&M said to me, listen, it ain't Menace. So I said, well, who it is? They say Camille Johnson. I said, well, bring me more information on Camille. Dexter, I haven't heard from you. I told you I want to curse out Camille Johnson, but I need to confirm if this is your sister. Next week, if you don't answer me, I think that will be a sign that this Camille Johnson is not your sister, the other Camille
Mr.
Johnson.
Munker, who else might be there on that list? I understand Tommy and Dion put the list together.
Tommy got sense. And you know how much sense Dion got? It ain't Tommy and Dion. It's Menace. All right?
Mr. Munker, do you realize that the chaplain of the F&M party is not on board with the way you think?
Well, all I know is Menace has his church on the list. Bishop Gregory Colley. And we're going to see whether or not he's going to stand with the Christian Council, the men of God, against his prime minister. Because the F&M is wrong to subject the house of God to revealing what funds they have. And I expect the church to rise up and, criticize the F&M. Next.
You're
not going to talk crime, eh?
Just passed by the station.
The weekend is coming,
Okay.
my spiritual advisor.
Well, you go ahead and encourage the country, Mr. Munker.
I shall. My Negro people, over the last couple of days, we have had a series of murders. We now have gangsters telling the government not to hang murderers. Listen, we don't want the government to hang murderers. We don't want no murder. But if you're going to murder, we have to advocate for capital punishment. It is simple as that. And anyone who opposes capital punishment after evil men have committed murders, they are gangsters. That's what they are. So don't kill nobody, eh? Don't harm anybody, please. Don't rob. Don't rape. Single man, don't rape. Okay? Married man, you cannot rape. Okay? Go home to your wife. Under our laws, a decent married man cannot commit rape upon his saved wife. Okay? So, watch out for the devil. Be of good cheer. Please don't kill nobody. And folks, this weekend, I'm going into hiding again because there exists a letter in which the Prime Minister has accused me implicitly of corruption. And I'm honest. I don't want to be locked up on a weekend. I don't mind being arrested Monday to Friday. But the weekend, I can't take it. So I shall be undercover. All right? I'm going into hiding. Remember I told you I'm going to be doing strange things since Minister wrote me that letter? And guess what? The Public Disclosure Commission, they ain't get their instrument of appointment. Because I'm waiting to take Miles LaRoda, Bishop Colley, and the Reverend T.G. Morrison to court. Because I want to know whether or not the last Public Disclosure Commission had reported me to the Prime Minister, and whether or not they give the Prime Minister power of attorney to write on their behalf. Why this country is in one mess? Lord, send wise men to assist the Prime Minister. I'm off the air. No music?
Continue.
Oh, yeah, goodness me. I got to put up with all kinds of things. And so, folks, be of good cheer, be peaceful, you know, talk. Don't commit no murder, because murderers are going to hell. And one day, mark my word, in this Bahamas, we're going to have capital punishment, and murderers are going to be hanged. But take it, Kay. Love your neighbors.
As yourself.
As yourself.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
And on behalf of myself and the spiritual advisor, take good care.
Have a great weekend.
God save the Queen. Deliver us from those King George III Negroes. Freedom March! Next week, if it is God's will, I'll see you. Freedom March!
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.